In my previous video, a viewer asked me a very interesting question. What is the deal with flea sex? The short answer is, fleas, like any other organism, survive and reproduce. It is a characteristic of life. However, getting into the nitty-gritty with fleas is worthwhile as they are particularly relevant to humans. Therefore, understanding their biology has been very important. In 14th century Europe, people were dying in droves. Covered in characteristic lumps and black rotting skin, they were all infected with the same disease, the Black Death, or the bubonic plague. The term bubonic comes from the Latin word bubo, meaning swelling of the lymph glands, specifically in the groin, which was a defining feature of this disease. The cause of the illness was speculated by many to be a divine punishment or bad air, called miasma, leading to doctors wearing those iconic suits we attribute with the time. People even avoided taking baths, fearing it would open their pores, making them more susceptible to the disease. During a bubonic plague outbreak in 1894, the cause of the Black Death was finally discovered by Swiss-French physician Alexandre Yersin, who proved it to be caused by a bacterium living inside of rodents. The bacteria which causes the plague is Yersinia pestis, named after him. He originally placed it in the Pastorella genus. In 1898, French physician Paul-Louis Simon noticed fleas that fed on hosts infected with Yersinia pestis had a clogged midgut, which in turn starved them and caused them to feed aggressively and regurgitate to attempt to clear the blockage, throwing up and spreading the plague in the process. He demonstrated that fleas were the primary vectors transmitting the disease. Fleas are insects of the order Siphonophora. They are all external parasites of birds or mammals and live by ingesting the blood of their host. They are most closely related to scorpion flies in the order Mecoptera. They are also holometabolists, meaning fleas undergo complete metamorphosis. A flea starts out as an egg laid either directly onto the host or the nest of the host. The area where the host rests or sleeps will become the primary area for development of eggs and larvae. Flea larvae are worm-like, legless, and look nothing like the adult. They feed on a variety of organic matter, such as dead insects, feces, specifically from the adult fleas, or unhatched flea eggs. The larvae will then spin cocoons and pupate. They will then develop into adults and wait until heat, CO2, or movement triggers them to emerge. Adverse conditions may delay emergence for many months. Adult fleas are wingless and have a very distinct shape. This image is probably one of the most famous scientific drawings of all time. It was created by Robert Hooke in his book Micrographia, published in 1665. The first work to present observations and illustrations of the microscopic world. Hooke drew a detailed image of a flea and all of its intricate anatomy, captivating the public and the scientific community. Fleas have a proboscis that they use for sucking blood. They are covered in plates called sclerites. The hairs on their body assist them in their jumping motion. Their long hind legs are mainly responsible for their powerful jump. Fleas jump to find new hosts and evade predators. Fleas begin their jump by flexing their muscles and storing the energy in pads of elastic protein called resilin, which acts like a spring. They employ a catch mechanism to prevent premature release. The mating behavior of fleas is not well documented, as their other behaviors. However, I was able to find 2 papers detailing their mating. This is the mating sequence described for the hen flea. First, the male accidentally collides with the female, and his maxillary pulps receive a contact chemical stimulus. The sexually stimulating substance is present on the abdominal cuticle of both male and females. It causes the males to run and to erect his antennae. He then pushes against the female, who responds by running forward, thus correctly orienting the partners. Tactile stimuli probably received by the receptors on the head lead the male to clasp the ventral surface of the female's abdomen with his antennae. The resulting tactile stimulation of the inner surfaces of the antennae allow the male to raise his genitalia to meet those of the female. Correct linkage of the genitalia is probably detected by the male's sensillum. Bites from fleas are usually a nuisance to hosts, causing itching and swollen red bumps. However, their bites can serve as a powerful tool for disease transmission. Besides spreading the plague, fleas serve as vectors for a host of parasites across the tree of life, such as viruses, bacteria like the plague or typhus, protozoans, and helminths or parasitic worms. Dogs, cats, and even humans can get tapeworms by swallowing a flea that is infected with tapeworm larvae. Usually this happens in children. Fleas themselves may cause some grotesque diseases like tungiasis, where female fleas burrow directly into human skin, which is a major public health problem. It is very common and a significant public health issue in impoverished tropical, subtropical regions of Africa, South America, and the Caribbean, affecting millions, especially in barefoot populations. I assume that most of my viewers are from developed areas and do not have to think about fleas often, maybe only if you have pets, but in less fortunate parts of the world, they remain a significant problem, contributing to disease. Therefore, it is critical to spread awareness about these insects, which are still negatively impacting humans to this day. I encourage you to ask more interesting questions about insects, no matter how fleeting.
No. Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No.
Whoa, no!
No.
That is not the shot!